Hey, what is going on, you guys? My name is Spydico64, and welcome back, everybody, to yet another NASCAR 164 scale diecast review. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Xfinity batch reviews. Yeah, it has been a really fat minute since we have last done an Xfinity batch review. I think the last one we did was back in January or February. I can't remember when, but point of the matter is, though, is that it's been a while, and now we finally got some Xfinity cars here to talk about. And again, that's not by design, that's just because of how Lionel releases these diecast. So there you go. But what I was going to say here is that, yeah, guys, so this right here, and I do want to go ahead and just point this out here, this will mark the last Xfinity batch review that we are going to do. This series, it's kind of, it's ran for a really long time. It ran from, I did this in late summer of 2024, and now, of course, it's, heading into the early summer portion. We're getting into the summer of 2026. And, sometimes good things just have to come to an end, and all that good stuff. And so, yeah, like I said, this will be the last Xfinity batch review. And next time around, you're going to then be seeing the O'Reilly series batch reviews. Yeah, okay, I was lying right there. No, the batch reviews are not be going away. But I'm not wrong. This will be the last Xfinity batch review, because, the next time I'm going to talk about some of these cars, instead of calling them O'Reilly, or instead of calling them Xfinity, we'll call them O'Reilly. And no, I'm not going to call the series the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series batch reviews. That is just that is a mouthful right there, and I'm not going to do that because I'm just not going to do that. But anyways, though, point of the matter is, though, is that, yeah, we're going to go ahead here and have a look here at 5 Xfinity cars that I recently just picked up. Now, I do want to go ahead and say this. There are 2 cars out there that I haven't purchased, that I haven't purchased. But what was I going to say here? Okay, there are 2 cars, Xfinity cars, that as far as I'm concerned, they haven't come out yet, and I don't know if they will, or maybe they got DMP. The 2 cars I'm referring to is Brendan Butterbean Queen's 11 Action Industries car, and then there's also SVG's quad lock car that he ran at Sonoma last year in the Xfinity car. I have no idea if those cars are going to be released, and to be really kind of frank and honest here with you, I'm not going to wait until they are released. And besides, if they are, I will probably save that for a future video in of itself. So there you go. So as far as I'm concerned, this will be the last Xfinity batch review, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. So I'm actually gonna move this a little bit here just so I can get some leg or some arm room. So let's first start off here by looking here first at Sheldon Creed's 00 Ollie's discount store Ford Mustang that he ran last year. So we have here a Sheldon Creed diecast. Always cool to get a Sheldon Creed car as always. And this is of, again, the Ollie scheme, which we have seen previously before with other drivers, but this is now with Sheldon Creed, and we were able to get a diecast of it. And unfortunately, over the time I'm recording this video, the Chevy version of this car got canceled. Yeah, it got canceled. So that's great, and it's unfortunate because you can't use this because this is on a Ford Mustang body, and this year Sheldon Creed is now running a Chevy body. Well, Haas, they basically switched from Chevy to Ford. I guess it benefits them in the O'Reilly series, but in Cup, not at all. It's again Gene Haas thinking that if he partners up with the big team, that means automatic success. How's that working in Formula 1? But anyways, though, looking at this car right here and at the paint scheme itself, I really do love the way this looks. This is basically Joey Logano's, this is basically a Shell Pennzoil car, and all that good stuff. Hell, even when he ran this at Talladega last year, I kind of thought to myself, wait, is that Joey Logano out there? Nope, it is Sheldon Creed. And also, this might be one of the last few Fords that might get released in the for the 164 scale for the O'Reilly car. Because, in case any of you don't know it, Ford is completely absent in the O'Reilly series. They were not at Texas, and they are not racing this weekend at Watkins Glen. So that is not great. And apparently from what I've heard, they might make a big comeback next year, or they might make a comeback next year with Penske maybe, and they might introduce a new body style. Now, once again, I will say this, though. I don't really like how the decal is placed right here on the Ford. Again, I wish the headlights were more bigger on this car. And I do notice that there are some not so great details here. Like, you see some wrinkles here. And what's one part of the car that I saw? Yeah, the spoiler does not look that great. Yeah, you can see some scrapes there. And then, yeah, you can then see a big old, like, shot right there. Like, what the fuck is that? So, yeah, once again, Lionel gonna Lionel, and there you go. But, again, I still like this car, but, man, those quality issues are not great. So, put that off to the side. Next car up we got Jesse Loves, as Adam Alexander likes to say it. We got here Jesse Loves, Whelen Chevy. Now, this is the championship version. Now, the reason as to why I picked this one up is because the standard edition version of this car got canceled in the Gold Series. And this is the only way that you could really get the scheme normally. You can't pick up this scheme, like normally. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't know how the 2024 version of this car is on the aftermarket, but I have to imagine that it's probably pretty expensive on the aftermarket and all that good stuff. And again, I just really got this car because I knew that, hey, we're going to be short on some Xfinity cars here, and I kind of wanted this one to talk about. But it's always cool to get the champion of the series and all that good stuff. And plus, the wheeling scheme has not changed really at all. And really, as far as I'm concerned, the only difference really on this car compared to the other versions is, of course, obviously it has the purple Xfinity playoff banners, which, people will get pissed off at that and make a whole entire video of them taking a Sharpie and just coloring that in. But you might notice that you got the C4 Ultimate Energy Drink logo right there. So that's really cool. I think they tried to offer a cup C4 scheme, but it didn't get made. And of course, yeah, it has this really ugly looking Xfinity Series Champion logo. Again, I really don't like how they put that there. And hell, even like last year with Majeski's truck one, they put it on like the back of the flatbed. And I'm looking here like at I don't want to spoil it because we're not there yet, but look at this Corey Haim one. You can see that why they put it there. They could have put it like back there, but whatever. Again, I'll save that for the Corey Haim truck review, or that for the Truck Series batch review, but yeah. And of course, you do got the 2 race 1 stickers right there, because he only really won 2 races. The first and the last race. He did win Rockingham, but that didn't count because he failed post-race tech inspection. Also, there's some scrapes there. Oh, wow, that's not great. Okay. Once again, Lionel gonna Lionel, but there you go. We already are accustomed to that wheeling scheme, so there you go. So now, next car up. I'm sorry, that was out of focus right there. This is one car that I'm really excited to look at, and that is we have Sammy Smith's number 8 TMC Darlington throwback. Now, this is part of NASCAR Authentics wave. This is part of NASCAR Authentics wave number 1A of 2026. This includes several throwback schemes from last year. It includes this one. There's also like the Larson, Terry Labonte throwback. There's the William Byron, Jeff Gordon one. There's like the Ryan Blaney. Then you got Blaney's throwback to his dad, Dave Blaney. And then there's also Joey's like Cale Yarborough throwback. I think it's a Cale Yarborough throwback. And then Austin Cindric had the Dale Earnhardt throwback for Freightliner. So that's a really cool wave. I'll see if I get any other cars from that wave here and maybe do some reviews for them. But this was one car that I really wanted right away. And that is really because this car got canceled in the Gold Series, and actually a lot of Sammy Smith diecasts got canceled last year in the Gold Series. Like, not a single one got made last year, and it got so bad that when I was at Vegas this year, they were selling Sammy Smith cars from 2024 at the JRM hauler. So that was not great, but we are getting some Smith diecast this year, so that right there is very good. Now, if any of you are wondering, this is a throwback to, I think, to Dale Jr., and I know this is a throwback to Dale Jr. and Tony Stewart. They ran a 3 doors down paint scheme, and this was the car, and this is what the car is inspired by. Now, of course, it obviously doesn't have 3 doors down on it, but it is inspired by their logo. Yeah, it says 8 TMC employee zone. You got yourself a picture of a truck. Looks like a Peterbilt right there. You got a picture of, I wonder who are these people are. Don Heen and Martin Miller might be the owners of TMC trucking company. And you got more people down here. Oscar Cordon and Michael Livion. Okay. But once again, I think that this does get the point across. And oh, by the way, I also want to point out here as well, and that is this is the first car NASCAR, the first NASCAR diecast, at least NASCAR diecast that has the classic 8 font. If any of you want to count this Dale Jr. Bass Pro car, I mean, this is not technically a NASCAR stock car. This is a late model and all that stuff, but this is really a true NASCAR stock car that has that classic Dale Earnhardt Incorporated font, and I love it. I just love it so much. Kind of a shame that it's with a kind of a stale driver like Sammy Smith. I mean, he's not going to go out and win you like 10 Xfinity races like Connor Zilli did last year. So there you go. But anyways, though, next car up we got, let's try to move along here, and that is we have, this is one that I was not going to pick up, but I did get because I did kind of notice that it was kind of going a little bit disappearing on eBay. And also the reason I got this was because I realized we were going to be short on some Xfinity cars, and I wanted at least 5 Xfinity cars to talk about here in this video. So up here we have William Sawalich's number 18 Soundhead gear. Or sound gear. Why do I keep... I swear to God, it's Soundhead gear. But okay, we have Sawalich's sound gear, number 18, that he ran last year in the Xfinity. And of course, obviously, Sawalich did recently grab a win in the sound gear car at Rockingham. So this is really cool to see. Really nice looking paint scheme, that I gotta tell you for sure. I really love this kind of like sound pattern kind of going on the back of the car. You got, of course, obviously got the orange. Of course, obviously you got the classic 18 font. The logo looks like a guitar pick. It says Sound Gear. Now this is a part of the NASCAR Authentics Advent Calendar. Now this was one that I skipped out on because I already had a Sammy Smith, or not a Sammy Smith, a Sawalich car. We had the Start Key car, but now they have now offered, and then they offered the Sound Gear car. And I knew that I was gonna skip this one, but I did see though that this car was gonna disappear a little bit, and I kind of sort of said to myself, you know what, I'll just get it and put it a part of this video. And I gotta say, I'm impressed with this car already. What the scheme it is and all that good stuff. Kind of a shame he did ditch this one. Both Taylor Gray and William Sawalich like literally ditched their schemes, their standard schemes, and went with white versions of their scheme. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the only way that you can get the white version is with the race win, but that's not out yet, and we don't know if that is going to come out. But I do notice that the name is a little bit crooked. Up there as well. Here better, race better. And one other thing I do want to mention here is that you got some Goodyear lettering rubbed off. So, damn, this car already raced. That's kind of funny, I guess. But there you go. Also, I forgot to mention this on the Sammy Smith one. I just remembered, but it does have different lettering on the Goodyears. Yeah, it has like this kind of classic, but I don't know what that says. I don't know that. They kind of did a shoddy job at that. I don't know. I'm going to have to kind of look. Like, what's that say? Like, is that celebrating? Like, I know Goodyear had like a big anniversary last year, but it's hard to read out what that says though. But all right, next car up that we got here. We got Connor Zilich's Carolina Carport scheme. But here's a bit of a twist. This is actually the Dover race win. Now, the reason why I have this car and the reason why I never did a solo review of it is because I got to be kind of honest. You really cannot tell that this is a race win unless you get really close in depth and detail into it. Now, I got this car at Las Vegas alongside the Ross Chastain Moose car. And I got to say about that Chastain Moose car review, I have to look back at it, but I'm pretty sure I was dead tired when I filmed that. And I don't know why I even filmed that in the first place right after I got back from the track. Hey, what else can I say? I got insomnia. So there you go. But anyways, though. But I wasn't going to originally get this car, primarily because I already knew that I had a Carolina Carport scheme because there's the Watkins Glen version and all that good stuff. And by the way, I'm recording this after that truck race at Watkins Glen. Yeah, that was a Watkins Glen race, all right. Speaking this as a Chastain fan, but whatever. Whatever, I guess, hey, it's just a truck race, so it is what it is. Now, I changed my mind on getting this car, again, mostly because I did realize we were going to be short on Xfinity cars. Plus, also, I realized that, hey, I really like, and plus I also realized something else, and that is that's Carolina Carport scheme I don't have. Like, I have that saved in its box, and so I kind of thought to myself, you know what, it would be better if I have one that's outside of the box. Yeah, at least one that's loose. So there you go. So that is something that I decided to kind of do here. And I got to say, again, I really love these Carolina Carport schemes. I got to say, I prefer the ones from this year. That's silver. That's like more silver and all that good stuff. Kind of like reminds me of like a Bass Pro car. Like one of those gray Bass Pro cars from a while back that Dale Jr. had. Kind of like a bit of an inverse of a Dale Earnhardt scheme a little bit. Now, if you want to know how you could tell that this is a bit of a race win, there is some of that windshield detail right there. Is that like supposed to be raindrops? The front end's not really that dirty up. You have like a minor tire donut. But this car is really clean. See, like barely scrapes and scratches. Like, yeah, like I said, you can barely tell that this is a race win. And someone will probably have to point out to you that it is. So, and it does work, guys. Hey, it's just a clean scheme if you want to use this in your stop motion series. Like, if you want to have alternative schemes for Zilly and all that good stuff. So, yeah. But I think, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today. So there you go, guys. That was a look at 5 NASCAR Xfinity Series diecast. Overall, pretty cool diecast from Lionel. You certainly got some of your unique cars here. You got some of your exclusives from the NASCAR Authentics. We got a race win right here that really barely looks like a race win. And we got the ugly champion car here. But in the end, though, in conclusion, I really do like these cars that Lionel put out. Really good to get Sammy Smith and Sawalch's cars. The Zilich one, that one is a really it's really cool to get a clean Zilich one. The Sheldon Creed one, I think out of all these cars, if I had to rank which one's my favorite of the bunch, I'll tell you right now, my least favorite has to be the Jesse Love one. It has to be the Jesse Love one. And then kind of going from there, you kind of have the Zilich one. It's not really that great of a race win, to be really quite honest with you, so I just kind of put a little bit lower. This is not one of Connor Zilich's best race win diecast. And then for Creed's Ollie's car, it's great, but man, there's just way too many QC issues, too many quality control issues. Then I would have Sawalch's car in second, and definitely the Sammy Smith 3 Doors Down throwback car. That's my favorite one of the bunch. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it. That's not going to be the last Xfinity review, though. I still have a lot of race ones coming out. And in case any of you are wondering, we do have some trucks to still review. But there's like 2 that are coming out here. We got a Casey Mears truck and a Josh Bilicki truck here coming out soon. So expect some truck reviews coming out here very soon. I would expect in the summer, like in June, to see those reviews. But still expect some other reviews as well. So there you go. I think that's all I have for today's video, guys. The next time that you're going to see an O'Reilly, the next time that you'll see an Xfinity batch review, it will not be called Xfinity batch, but rather it will be O'Reilly. So hope to see you when we get to that series. Again, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see all of you in the next video.